Hi, welcome to a Blake Scholar Magic video. Today, we will be looking at a MTG Arena Brawl deck. And Brawl is a 100 card format. And you play a single card like as your leader or your commander. And you basically are allotted the cards in that particular color configuration. So if you have a blue and black card, like that has blue and black symbols on it, and that's it, then you'd be limited to cards that don't have a mana symbol in them, like the colorless, the grayish kind of tone, or you could play blue or black cards in the deck. And you'd basically be limited to that. You'd be losing the other three colors of the color pie, but that's who we're visiting today. It's a Jumpstart Foundations commander, and his name is Tycho the Patient Avalanche, also known as the Ninja Turtles. So, look at this guy. Look at this. Look at these arm guards, guys. How can you lose? And look at that sick breastplate, dude. Oh, Tycho, you bad. You bad guy. I could see this is kind of a popular deck. I know it's not like 1,000,000 views like some of these decks on Moxfield get, but hey, I just posted this not too long ago, and I haven't done any videos or anything on it, so that's where we're at. And let me maybe just zoom this one more time for you. And so Tycho the Patient Avalanche is a 3 and a blue. It's a legendary creature, a turtle ninja. Tycho the Patient Avalanche enters tapped. Whenever another creature you control leaves the battlefield, if it didn't die, scry 1 and put a 1/1 counter on Tycho. Whenever Tycho attacks, you may pay blue and black. So that's how we get the both of the colors of the configuration. Now we're not limited to blue, we get black, which is really cool. And when you do, target attacking creature can't be blocked this turn. So whenever this creature attacks, we can make another creature unblockable. It could be Tycho, it could be another creature. Typically, I kind of want to like favor a Tycho kind of build where we're kind of dealing the combat damage and kind of getting in repeatably and maybe getting in for commander damage. That would be kind of nice. But we also want to get value from our other ninjas so we can win in that manner as well. So there's a little rundown of that. Let me just kind of zoom this out just a little bit. And that looks fine. So basically, let's kind of go over like kind of the major like pulls of a Tycho card. And what you want to do is you want to obviously have the one of the also abilities is that it gets a 1/1 counter, so it gets stronger each time a creature leaves the battlefield under our control without dying. And the way we primarily do that is through the mechanic, a ninja mechanic called Ninjutsu. So let's look at a card with, like, say, for instance, Ninjutsu. We have a card like Moon Circuit Hacker. 1 in blue, enchantment creature, human ninja, ninjutsu. Whenever a Moon Circuit Hacker deals combat damage to a player, you scry 2, then draw a card. Discard a card unless Moon Circuit Hacker entered the battlefield this turn. Of course, this is the basically the benefit of you being able to interchange your attackers when you are attacking. You pay that blue, and then they interchanges them, and then basically that creature will be able to hit in. And this one, the requisite is combat damage, and you draw a card. So it's very fitting. Basically, it basically rewards you for playing a lot of low-cost creatures that are evasive. So a perfect card, my favorite card, probably the best card in here in general, is an Ornithopter, and it's probably not even very close. This card is exceptional for this particular deck because you don't not have to invest any money to cast this spell. You can play this on turn 1 and have another turn 1 play. So that's a really nice characteristic to the Ornithopter, and it's going to be even better, and I'll tell you why. So say, for instance, turn 1 we play our Ornithopter, turn 2 we're ready to swing with our Ornithopter. There's nothing to block it on our opponent's side, so it's getting in freely. Now I'm going to have, if I have a Ninjutsu card in my hand, when a blocker has not been declared, I can then Ninjutsu the ninja. It's kind of like vehicles in a way, but like from your hand. That's kind of like a good way to kind of, if you're familiar with that, it's like, you're just kind of like crewing this, for instance, or in this case, returning to your hand, and you get to like have a benefit, a card that does something very nice, right? Like, for instance, doing a combat damage if it entered the battlefield this turn, and getting that card is kind of a nice little exchange there. So there's the Moon Circuit Hacker. And yeah, it's a cool one for sure. You can also loot with it. That's a nice little effect later on, it looks like. So what are some other like kind of just easy peasy one drops? I mean, a mockingbird is cool, and it flies, and you can go ahead and pop it back, and then later on you can play it for something else, maybe another higher cost creature. It's so versatile. It's just these very cool cards that are cheap, and you can get value from popping them back in your hand. Like, so we go ahead, we ninjutsu our Moon Circuit Hacker in. It connects, and we'll still have maybe 1 mana available to play a Spyglass Iron, and then we're tapped out with mana, but we have our Ornithopter again. So we're slamming back the Ornithopter back down, and now we have like more targets for our ninjutsu cards. So that's kind of like the big pull of it. Imagine like a sequence like on a turn 2 play, for instance, and you had maybe your Ornithopter that was available, or 1-drop. It doesn't matter, any 1-drop, of course. And then on turn 2, you go like Dark Ritual. You like accelerate, and you get into something like a Miss Syndicate Naga, and then that thing's slamming in, and then it's really snowbally. So if you're doing this in a really early sequence, you're gonna deal combat damage to this ninja, and it's kind of copy itself and make him another Miss Syndicate Naga. And when that token slams in, it's going to create a copy of itself, and it's kind of like a Scoot Swarmy type effect, right? Where you're just like kind of getting the snowbally effect, like they're kind of like exponentially growing, and you're creating more of these Miss Syndicate Nagas. So, I mean, dang, they got some support, don't they? These ninjas. I mean, that's a cool card in general. And this is just Brawl. I was just researching some of these on the EDH rec, and there is a lot of ninjas, and they're very expensive. So that's not always the most happy part of building a deck, is that you're like kind of looking at it and you're like, God dang, this is going to cost some money if we really want to like get these in paper, So, we'll have to look at that. But I mean, I kind of want to do it. When I do the thing, you want to kind of do the thing, right? So I want to consider it. But yeah, there's some really nasty and good ninjas, even apart from Brawl. So we'll be looking at that a little bit towards the end of the video. But you can kind of see the basically the low to the ground, very evasive 1-drops that will basically penalize opponents if they want to deal with it, or just hard to block in general. And then you're getting these nice ninjutsu payoffs, and they all benefit ninjas very much. Like a Prosperous Thief is going to be great in EDH because we're going to spread our damage out pretty consistently. We're going to be getting like ahead on mana. We kind of need that for Demir. We kind of need to like get ahead in other ways, not because we don't have like land ramp or mana dorks, so we have to figure out how we're going to get that kind of mana train going as well, so we can play all the spells we want. Psychic Frog, once again, this is it's just an awesome card. Like I just love the evasiveness of this too. It's just hard to deal with, and if we get in for that combat damage, it's we're gonna get that card each time. And Tycho is also very good because you see that it has that unblockability text where if it attacks, it can make another creature unblockable, and that could be very nice for our Psychic Frog. We might not have to worry about having to like buff it up or discard cards. We can just use the Psychic Frog freely. There's some really sick ninjas here, guys. Like, look at this one. Whenever a ninja you control deals combat damage player, draw a card. It's just like, what? That's crazy. So it really incentivizes us for playing like a nice amount of ninjas. So there's a couple lords. I mean, the Silver Fur Master's a nice lord here. We're kind of getting kind of lord vibes from Kato. So we're definitely going to be playing this Planeswalker in particular. We might, instead of a Cunning Infiltrator, favor another ninja for our EDH build. But this is the cards that we're allotted. We don't have the greatest card pool. But it's good enough. So you can definitely get a feel of the mechanics. And I do feel that Kaito is kind of that bread and butter for us, where we're going to spread our damage out once again, and we're going to draw a card for each opponent who lost life this turn, lots of card advantage. And then on a turn of a dime, perhaps we could even do the emblem, and make all our ninjas stronger. If like in our certain lines we had discussed when we have, a bunch of Miss Syndicate Nagas, we're going to want them to get stronger and, finish the game faster than not. So that is Kato. Why am I saying Kato? Crazy. There's a lot of ninjas that like, we might interchange here. They're very specific. Like, they're better for, in Brawl. Like, I don't have to distinguish what card I'm discarding with this. When in the real format and real players, in real life, the cards can change if you see this little A symbol. And this card, you actually have to, it's very specific. You have to discard a creature card too, once you do the combat damage to destroy another card. So it's kind of brutal. Kind of a lot more restrictive. So there's definitely some alternatives. They're a little more expensive, but they're not so bad. I have some just kind of interesting cards in here in general, like Metallic Mimic, but we definitely were feeling our Flash vibes. We definitely had the Malcolm and Fairy Mastermind going. So, you can play on your opponent's turn, and that's kind of nice where you can hold up a card, removal or counter spells. Very Demir-y. Very good Demir deck. I think you guys will dig queuing this up. It's just very kind of familiar. It basically resembles maybe an Explorer list to an extent. There might be some modern cards in here that are very strong, of course, like a Miss Syndic Naga. But this definitely represents probably your standard or Explorer kind of list that you might see. Of course, you have your Enduring Curiosity, which is just an all-star, and it's just going to let you draw a lot of cards when your creatures deal damage to an opponent. You just draw, so it's great. Similarly with the Gix, these are just good card engines for us, so they're just definitely easy money for us because we're going to be doing a lot of damage. Rev has just showed herself to be a bomb here. I think Sator is going to get better when we don't have to kind of run the Sea Dasher Octopuses anymore and the Malcolms and the Fairies, and we can just fill up with all good ninjas. And Sator is going to be much happier in that regard, I think, as well, because Sator loves to see creatures, enter if they were not, mana was not spent to cast them. Okay, so yeah, so that's really cool stuff. Basically, the verbiage for that is when Sator the Infiltrator and or one or more other non-token creatures enter the battlefield under your control, if none of them were cast or no mana was spent to cast them, draw a card. Even Ornithopter triggers a Satoru, so that's nice. So whether you're ninjutsuing something in or playing something that costs 0, that's a creature, you're going to draw the card. And like I said, the Ornithopter would fit that bill, which is a really nice interaction. What else is there to say? I mean, this deck is gas. It's just major gasoline. There's just kind of just your de facto, you got your reanimate because it's just reanimate and it's awesome. Even really cool with Surveil Lands. Now you might get lucky off a Surveil Land and get really busy early in the game. Oh, what else? Toxic D is very good. Just these really nice resurrection spells, card advantage spells. You get your access to beautiful counter spells and beautiful removal, Bitter Triumph for planeswalkers and creatures. You get Cyclonic Rift. You get Felda Profane now. That's also just a land. And it's just nice stuff. Nice single target removal at the instant speed. You get Mana Drain, which is just crazy stuff, right? Mana Drain is just scoop-inducing for our opponents. You get a nice Malika Rebirth here, that's good for our commander because it's going to be a target if it's starting to, deal the damage. And of course, we have our 1-versus-1 format, so we're going to be playing our Wash Away and our Tail's End. But I feel like we can kind of get away from maybe these two and probably focus more on the ninjas. And that's going to be our kind of modus, but I don't want to change too much about the deck. We can maybe even make sure we get a Soul Ring in here, for instance. So we're going to be able to kind of manipulate this deck to an extent and kind of find the cards that we need and the upgrades that we need to kind of bring it to a little stronger format and maybe more efficient. I think the Fave Bloom trick is kind of interesting. Definitely good. Adding some speed to create some ninjutsu targets for us. I'm not sure if it's going to be sticking in for the duration, but it was a nice card. And it seemed to do the trick pretty well. So we'll have to see. But there's so many good ninjas, and I'm just looking at them over there, and I think that we're going to be able to kind of fill this out with ninjas. But I do like the idea of keeping Counterspell and Cyclonic Rift and Sink the Stupor, March of the Swirly Mist to kind of keep our stuff, or make sure we can get a swing in if we need to. Maybe I think I'd see it more as preserving our stuff. We got the Blue Flare, which is also very nice. So some nice instants here. We can definitely run some, run a talisman at the very least instead of a cold steel heart. So, there's just upgrades to be had. We'll still play the ring for cards. Leyline Axe will still play because Taiko is just going to love swinging in for double strike. Lost GT is just killer, right? Because our stuff is so evasive, so this is just instant value for us. It's just ramping us. It's doing all those things we want. It can make creatures unblock, target creature not being able to block. It can make our stuff stronger. And then Patchwork Banner for our ninjas. Make our stuff a little stronger. We have our just repeatable card value and ramp and creature creation with Black Market. We have Mitut Massacre, which will be just like a nice another kind of board interaction. And these are just good in general. And I guess that's it. And then you have your land base here. Anything cool here? You get a Nykthos here, you get a Phyrexian Tower, and we get a Bujuka Bog. Bujuka Bog's cool. Castle Lothwain, you get your Channel Lands. Mystic Sanctuary, I think it's all right. You really have to make sure you're putting down all your islands, though, and we'll test that one out a little bit more. I'm not going to give up on it yet. But yeah, that's I guess it. So it's kind of seems like a nice seamless deck, to be honest. Seems really cool. What we can do now is that I can basically kind of transfer this over into an EDH list, and we can kind of investigate that. I think I have about looks like about 5 cards already that I can kind of foresee that. Probably about 7 actually. So I think we're good. Just kind of slap these in and see what happens. Sorry. So I wanted to go make a new deck now. Ninja Turtle. EDH. Commander. Taiko. The Patient Avalanche. All right, so there's some kind of fun cards that I kind of just want to experiment with. One of which is the Inquisitor's Flail. And the Commander Plate. I want to just kind of start with those. All right, so there's the Commander's Plate there. Equipped creature gets 3/3 and has protection. Has protection from each color that's not in your commander's color identity. Equip Commander 3, equip 5. Perfect. We're definitely going to want Taiko to be suited up and getting busy, right? Here's Inquisitor's Flail. You can make him unblockable. That's what's so cool about Taiko. You just attack and just pay blue and black, and now Taiko's unblockable. And then Inquisitor's Flail, if equipped creature would deal combat damage, deals double that damage instead. If another creature would deal combat damage to a equipped creature, it deals double the damage to a equipped creature instead. We don't have to worry about Taiko interacting with our opponent's stuff. Obviously the lightning bolts will be devastating and damage removal, but hopefully we can kind of fade that. We'll have other ways to save our Taiko in certain circumstances. So I do want to try the Inquisitor's Flail. Let's see what other cards I just kind of have. And I did read on this is the bane of everybody's existence, but I think the build arounds are a lot more brutal than what we're going to be doing. But this is just a nice ninjutsu card because it's going to benefit. Our ninjas are going to be able to get some value for us because they're going to be able to hit. And then, for instance, even this card, and then we'll reveal the top card of our library and put that card in our turn hand. So we get to have the draw, and then each opponent loses life equal to that card's converted mana cost. So it's just a very damaging card. Definitely is very powerful, and only $2. So we just like that a lot for us. Let me just kind of shrink this one a little. What else do we got here? Let's see, Fallen Shinobi. This is a Mega Bomb. Okay, so there's our Fallen Shinobi. It's a 3 blue and black creature zombie ninja, and it's a ninja. And the ninjutsu, 2 blue and black And then, of course, the ninjutsu function. When Fallen Shinobi deals combat damage to a player, that player exiles the top 2 cards of their library. Until end of turn, you may play those cards without paying their mana costs. So that's pretty sweet. And well, I mean, yeah, like let's just roll the dice and have the Fallen Shinobi hit in, and the opponent will exile the top 2 cards of their library, and then we can play those cards without paying their mana costs. We can even play lands, So it's a play, right? So that's a cool function. And yeah, I really dig it. Could get some major cards for us. Lots of value to be had there. Lots of good high rolling to be involved in that particular card. So that's a winner for sure. And that's like, once again, only like $1.47. That's not bad so far, but they're going to get worse. So we just have to decide if we really, really like them. Of course, we are going to mention that we are going to add a soul ring too, which is not available in Brawl. And we got the Blue March in, and now we're going to the Silent Blade Oni. Well, that's like a very expensive ninjutsu, but yeah, that one's also cool. That has like free casting characteristics. It's just like it's like a major, ninjutsu type of card. I don't mind it. We'll have ways to reduce our ninjutsu as well. Yeah, I mean, that's what you kind of want. Is you kind of want like, you want to have like your cheaply costed cards that are just like very easy to put on the battlefield and like very resilient. Like, even if your opponent like, is giving you a tougher matchup and you're having to exhaust a lot of mana, you can always just like throw down a 1 mana flyer, and then on your next turn you can ninjutsu something like this on the battlefield, right? Which is really cool. So I do like that kind of sneak surprise that you kind of get out of these cards. So I do think that's a fine one. Higure, the Still Wind. This is a Ninja Tutor. Yeah, he's $5. That's a pretty good deal. It is in Italian for some reason. Let's see. Or siempre, that's Espanol. Switch the printing. The secret layer drop. Sure. There he is. Okay, so Higure the Still Wind, so Ninjutsu 2 in blue. Whenever Higure the Still Wind deals combat damage to player, you may search your library for a ninja card. Yes, please. Reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. I mean, we got some really cool ninjas in here already. I can already see some very worthwhile targets. So that is super cool for us. Nashi. Okay, I think I got a Nashi. Throatslitter. Yeah, there's some great ninjas. Whenever Throatslitter deals combat damage to a player, destroy target non-black creature that player controls. Yeah, that's fine. It's just we don't have to discard anything. It's just easy peasy removal on a ninjutsu card, and it can get repeatable value, right, as it stays on the battlefield over turns. So it's a good one for us. Saaka Student. Oh god, this is like the $40 card. Oops. Yeah, this card's expensive. So basically 2 ninjutsu, like color, 1 and a blue. You may have Saaka Student enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it's a ninja in addition to its other types. So you get those enter the battlefield triggers. It's just really nice value. I mean, it's kind of reminds me of like the Mockingbird to an extent, right? But the ceiling is so much higher, it seems almost, because you could just copy without any mana investment and just copies anything. So That is definitely worth the $25, it looks like. What else we got? Orochi, the Soul Reaver. Oops. So here's the Orochi Soul Reaver, and this one is a nice one too because whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a treasure token and manifest the top card of that player's library, and you get that manifest. So once again, it's kind of like Rev, if you're familiar with Rev, and the Tithe Extractor, and it's a similarly priced card because we're going to be ninjutsuing this thing in, it's going to be the whole point of it. And then we're going to be making treasures and getting value from our opponent's top of their deck by manifesting it onto our battlefield. Yeah, that's some sweet, sweet goodness, guys. So I found some nice ninjas here overall, and now we can probably just kind of bulk edit everything on top here. It's not going to like a lot of these cards because they're just like... they won't be cards that will register in the EDH database. There's a lot of, like, for instance, this A. It's not going to like that. It's not going to like this. And you also kind of want to be on the safe side and just remove these symbols too when you're transferring these lists over. Yeah, just get rid of the A's because that is like an alchemy set. And you're definitely going to want to get through the A's here as well, so the text can recognize everything. Yep, once again, we're just here. Thanks for all the support on the last couple of videos. You guys have been killing it, man. I don't know, like... We've had a very good week for new subscribers and viewers, and I appreciate all the feedback that you guys give me. It seems like you know what you're kind of looking for, and just don't be afraid to keep asking for things, because I will try to do my best. And I feel like we're pretty much going to get like a good message here. Let's go ahead and save this one. Okay, so everything went through now, and now we have our Turtle Ninja EDH deck. And now we're basically at, over 110 cards. So we can probably just start like with the... And let me change this. Let me change the visual grid, okay? Visual grid is kind of nice for this one because I know my head is over here in the corner. I don't know if we're going to have to run the Kato Cunning Infiltrator, so let me just kind of make note of that. It is a nice one, though. I definitely do want the, let's see, I think I just have it here. It's the Rogue. The Triton the Triton Shore Stalker is very good. That's just like a stripped upgrade from like a, for instance, for what we're doing than like a Spectral Sailor, I would say. I do like the Siren to like keep our like the Explorer tokens going. Those are just or the map tokens going. Those are completely busted, and good mana sinks for us too. To like kind of keep our lands going and our cards flowing. So I do like the Siren a lot. Let's see here. Okay, so I guess we're just going to be cutting some cards now. And it shouldn't be too bad. I don't think this... I was just running him because he was a ninja, to be honest, guys. The Nashi. And the Mimic, I think, can go. Moonsnare Specialist. One's not the worst. Definitely upped our ninja count, though. How would I feel about these, like, flyer here? I wonder if there's a better kind of one that we can get value from. Like a single mana creature card. Let's see, creatures. Fairy Seer is kind of cool for the scry. Yeah, like a Mistcloak Herald's pretty cool. The Outport Mage seems kind of interesting now that we're adding more ninjutsu cards too. It's a kind of fun value. This is kind of fun that you get to tap down a permanent though. It is kind of fun, but I mean unblockability is unblockability, you know. What's cool about this guy is he's also a ninja. So the Changeling Outcast is just like an all-star. Get rid of some of these flash threats here. I think we're going to keep the Bowmaster. There's a couple ninjas that are just not as good, you know, come this way. But we'll see where it lands. I think I'm ready to kind of see what we got going on down here, what we're going to act as a replacement. Yeah, I'm pretty fine with this. It's just kind of losing some single target commander, you know, interaction pieces for like a Soul Ring and a new ninjutsu card. I feel like that's kind of a nice trade-off, and still keep some of these nice single target removal spells along the way. Don't think we're going to need the trick anymore. Can definitely add a talisman here to the mix. What's nice about the Mox Field is it will not give you cards that are not part of this color configuration. It's like programmed here, so I can just tap a talisman and it will just make sure I get the correct talisman. You know, it's really cool stuff. Really cutting edge. We have nice card advantage here. We have some really nice kind of like pieces here that look fine. I like all this action here, and I mean, I guess you can get a City of Brass now. I mean, we definitely want our Sanctuary to be pretty decent, though. I don't know if I would change too much about our lands, really. Yeah, you pretty much get access to all the sweet ones, like Nykthos, for instance, and you can, like, maybe... Yeah, I think it's fine, right? Yeah, I'm pretty happy. Even get a Bojuka Bog. So we're at 103. It's just because we've added more ninjas than not. And so there's definitely some ninjas that like maybe are not as impressive to me, like a Okiba Gang. I mean, it's nice for a single player game, but you know, just targeting one of our opponents might not be as good. Same thing with the Moonstare Specialist. I do like the Moonblade Shinobi though, because it creates more like tokens, more like, you know, they fly too, so you can basically, you know, kind of get that nice fodder to go and, you know, keep up your ninjutsuing, so to speak. And man, I think we have a deck. We're only at like one more card. Biting Palm Ninja is like similarly like another card that, you know, we might not really require. The investment is a little bit high, and then it's like basically a single card that you get from an opponent, so maybe not the most impressive. But I think this is it. I think this looks... you know what? The Nizuma Prowler? We probably could do better, right? There's probably like maybe a couple more ninjas that we can do. Let's go. Let's keep looking, guys. I'm not done yet. You know, there's got to be some nice ones that we can get. I mean, I kind of left off on that. And of course, like, this is a decent way to like look into this. There's sometimes other ways to find ninjas too, you know. Quick draw katana. It's a big card. Okay. Let's click on Mr. Tycho. See what people like with this guy. Yeah. Wow, they put 82% synergy on here, huh? I mean, it does make a lot of ninjas, huh? Jeez Louise. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, put a loyalty counter. Yeah, we do have it in the deck right now. It just was kind of... Yeah, I mean, that -9 is massive, right? Yeah, I believe we have all of these cards so far. Ninja of the Deep Hours. I don't think I have that one in yet. Beautiful. This one is kind of interesting because it has such like a cheap ninjutsu. It is very interesting, you know. That is like a really, you know, cheap ninjutsu cost. Missplayed Shinobi, huh? It's definitely better than I think the other one. The ninjutsu cost is so low. Yeah, it's much lower ninjutsu cost here. But this is just an enter. Well, the other one has to deal with combat damage, but so what? Yeah, the Dokuchi Silencer is kind of tough because you have to discard a creature card, though, right? It's kind of a tough one to like get going. To really keep up with your cards. How about you? What do you do? Okay, just to look at the hand. Very well. Kiora? Really? That's kind of nuts. These are weird. Yeah, I mean, I feel like you could go like an enter the battlefield because you're ninjutsuing, right? Yeah, I could see that. I did try that, but it just didn't really work very well for me. So there's that. There's the Spectral Sailor. So a lot of our choices kind of like look like they're kind of getting through. Dothy Voidwalker is pretty cool. I could see like an Arcane Denial. That kind of makes sense. Let's see. That Missplayed Shinobi, huh? Kind of calling my name. Yeah, we'll just get rid of the Silencer, I think. I'm the Ninja of the Deep Hours, yeah. Right on. We have some other cool ninjas here. This one gets into our opponent's graveyards and resurrects creature spells, so that's nice. Overall, the deck seems really cool. I'm definitely going to like print this out. I love Demir decks. Like Anawan is one of my firsts, and that's like a deck that I'm still just retooling all the time. You know, there's always new cards to get, but we're definitely going to go on the ninja path. We're on the ninja path now. And let's look at some hands. You know, that's probably like one of the points of this whole whole exercise. So let's do that. All right, we're going to definitely mulligan that one. That's kind of interesting. Dark Rituals always makes hands more interesting, doesn't it? I mean, you can like have like a fast Tycho, but it's not the best. Mockingbird and Gix. That's a pretty good team up. How's our mana doing? It's not great for Gix, actually. But can perhaps lean on his shores. Probably want to get our unblockability going here instead of a Mockingbird. We can still do Mockingbird and play Tapland though now and still get our Gix going. So you could either Bojuka Bog, we could save the Bojuka Bog, go here, go Mockingbird, slam in. Now we're here and we're Gixing and we're just drawing cards now. 1, 2 from that. Now we have a nice ninjutsu threat. We draw for turn. And then we're going to be ninjutsuing one of these back, probably the Mockingbird, like so. I'm creating more Nagas, recasting the Mockingbird, drawing more cards. Lots of card advantage. Lots of lands so far. Draw for ninja. This will help us find our ninja, which is really nice. You can just do ninjutsu tutoring. That Yuriko is quite a card, huh, guys? You can just start like spewing cards from the top of your deck and dealing all your opponent's damage. That's each time a ninja connects. That's kind of interesting, huh? I wonder if there's any like ninjas that are like unblockable, like at the 1 mana spot. That'd be kind of beneficial. Be like a little bit even more. I'm willing to try it, and then we're gonna sign off after this little search. Ninja unblockable MTG. It just shows the ninjas. I don't think there's like any like single mana ninjas that are just unblockable. Changelings that are unblockable. Get our little well, hey, you're pretty cool. You have to tap an untapped creature, the Moth Dust Changeling, but yeah. That 1 mana guy is pretty stellar, isn't he? So what a stellar card, the Changeling Outcast. About yeah, there's so many like there's even Fear, you know, like that's like also a mechanic. Shadow. Okay, this is kind of like an unblockable Yuriko deck, huh? Oh, it's pretty affordable too. Just looking at the one spot, Siren Storm Tamer. Hey, that's not bad, is it? A little bit of interaction too on the 1-drop flyer. That's pretty nice. I think we kind of like worked through our flyers though, and we're pretty happy with them. It's pretty cool. Then this is this mono blue. Oh, it's the unblockable. It's this one. Okay, my bad. Yeah, I gotcha. They're already unblockable anyways with that commander. Mission unblockable. That's kind of fun. Anawan. Slitherblade. So, oh, that's another nice one too. Slitherblade. I think we put in the Triton Shore Stalker. Let's see. This is the Brawl. Oops. Oh no, this is EDH. So I definitely have some other cuts here. Sea Dasher Octopus. have the Mistcloak Herald here. That can't be blocked. So the blade is similar. It's a rogue. Oh, it's a 1/2. That's just strictly better. There's a Changeling Outcast, of course. They even have the Douthie Voidwalker. It's a little more on the pricier side. And they have some nice flashing Ghostly Pilfer. Interesting. Very cool Anawan deck here, of course. Very nice Rankle. I like it. I dig it. I like all these choices. Tiny Bones. Yeah, it's a rogue. It's the badass. Yeah, this is very cool. Very cool deck. So I think we kind of, exercised our action here. Appears that we can probably add another card of some sort. I think we kind of, maybe you can look at the ninjas still. The Ninjutsu. I think we got our 1000-Face Shadow in there already. Yeah, we're good. Baleful Strix, huh? Kind of interesting too, huh? It's like a good card advantage, huh? I'm surprised that Psychic Frog isn't in this, because it's just such a good, card engine too. Binding of Thassa. Yeah, it's pretty good. Mystic Remora, huh? Kato. Three Tree City. I wouldn't mind that, actually. Definitely added more ninjas. I think we're ready to add the Three Tree City. Alright, I think we're ready to goldfish some hands out and kind of just get some vibes for what we're doing here. I mean, that seems like a great, sequence there for us, really. Just draw here. Could likely just lead with like a Surveil Land of some sort, and get it in there. We'll be fetching our shock land here. And we'll have access to blue and black together. And this underground river seems fine. Or you can go right for your strictly, your shock itself. You can just hold this up like so. You can mana drain something here and then have access to a ring or a rev. Like whichever one you want to prefer. And you could even, if you decided on like a rev, you could even like hold up like a Malika Rebirth, which seems really good. I mean, this mana drain just kind of opened up everything for us, you know, and would give us that nice mana. I mean, you could probably definitely lead on a Rev or even your Tycho, whatever you wanted to get started. I don't mind the Tycho because, I mean, this could just go in and then you can go for Rev. You know, whatever you wanted, like in terms of value, you're pretty much guaranteed like with leading with the Rev because you have a rebirth, but you know, just having this on the battlefield along with the Tycho seems really good. You can get into like whatever the heck you want to get into. You know, you'll be generating treasures. You can, you know, play the black market, get the ring going. You can even lead with the ring and get the ring going, you know, and draw a bunch of cards. You know, have access to all these cards at once, you know. It's kind of just up to you. All right, we'll just do maybe a couple more here to kind of get a feel. Would be pretty decent with like, you know, just adding additional land here. Getting our Outcast going with like our Prosperous Thief would be a very cool start for us. Can get lots of ninjutsus going. Yeah, that's okay. That's a hot start. Obviously, all our starts with like a Soul Ring is going to be, you know, is going to seem very strong because it is, especially when you lead into a Talisman. I kind of like this one. Yeah, it seems like a fun one to show off. I mean, just the Slither Blade is just guaranteed, right, to get in with your Moon Circuit Hacker. We can do this in a manner where you're ninjutsuing this guy out and back. This guy comes back. You can go like into a Tiny Bones if you wanted to, or back into this Slither Blade, but we can start getting value from our Tiny Bones now. You know, so it just seems really good. Hopefully get value from Tiny Bones somehow. That'd be very cool at this point. Play our Slither Blade. Oof. Miss Syndicate Naga. Seems pretty good too. Yeah. So lots of options on the table. We'll probably want to get into some cards. Cards are always good. I'd probably slam it. We'd have lots of options. Lots of options. I like this guy a lot. Could even bomb the board at this point if we wanted to, and just kind of reset with like a Tycho Commander Plate turn. Should be kind of fun. Still have all this gas in the back pocket. Seems good. Even got the Malco Rebirth going here. Bomies. Interesting stuff, huh, guys? So overall, I just kind of dig the deck here. Looks really nice. And that's Ninja Turtle EDH. So I'll put this on the video, and then what we'll do is I'll get some of these cards. I have this one. I don't have this guy yet, and I'm missing lots of these ninjas. So the deck kind of gets a little bit expensive when you're adding these Sakoshimas. So I'm gonna have to probably go to the LGS and beg them to buy some of my cards. But I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see y'all later.